Miami-Dade County. I work for the 11th Judicial Circuit Court in Miami-Dade, and my topic for this evening is how and what is a bailiff. We'll be covering different topics. Oh, it's this one. I'm looking at this and pressing this. Okay. We'll be touching on different topics such as who are bailiffs, what are their skills, the bailiff jobs and duties, education, and pay. And the pay part is what I like the most. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to start off with who are bailiffs? Okay, bailiffs are law enforcement officers whose main role is to maintain order during courtroom proceedings. Our judges depend on us as bailiffs to ensure that the public, jury, legal teams, witnesses, and defendants proceeds through the trials and other courts proceedings with the required decorum. Bailiffs may also be known as court officers or marshals, depending on the jurisdiction in which they serve. We as bailiffs fulfill numerous amount of functions in the court system, but primarily it is to enforce courtroom rules and maintain security during, as we were saying, the trials and court proceedings. Also, we're going to be discussing the skills that you need to be a bailiff. Some of the skills that are needed are for bailiffs, and please forgive me, this little guy over here, the new bailiff, this is the bailiff right here. I thought I put that there because we've had many times that people come in as bailiffs and they think they're this person and they think this is what they need to be. But as you can see, some of the skills that we're going to be talking about here, it says, in order to assist in the smooth operation of the courtroom, bailiffs must be courteous and cooperative and knowledgeable in court procedure. Bailiffs must be able to read and write, of course, simple instructions, short correspondence, and memos. Now, let me stop right there when you talk about short correspondence and memos. Everything that you see with bailiffs right now are up front, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the back, too. We deal with a lot of paperwork. We deal with the attorneys. We deal with the pro se litigants. We type. We do everything from A to Z as far as dealing with the clerk's office at each courthouse. So it's just not us standing in front of the court system, keeping the courtroom in control. There's a lot of paperwork that goes on in the back, and it deals with a lot of people. I think during the day, I probably talk to about 30 to 40 people during the course of a day. Okay, and that's some of the skills. And we must also have strong public relations and interpersonal skills. We must be able to deal with people from all walks of life, from A to Z. And it was difficult for me as I began the career as a bailiff because I wasn't used to being around like 20, 30 different personalities in one courtroom. So it was very interesting and I had to keep control. And at first I was a little bit like this guy here. I'm ready to take everybody down, just. But, as I started to work, I remember my instructor told me that we are here to help the public. We're public servants, just as the law enforcement officers are public servants as well. Here it says that of course, you have the basic mathematical skills because remember I said we do paperwork in the bag. So there's a lot of things that you don't see that's going on once we leave the courtroom. And you have to have a strong attention to deal with certain situations in the court. You have to have an eye for trouble or a smell like a Doberman pinscher for trouble in the courtroom because the most innocent looking person, and I've seen it all, can be the most dangerous person. So I don't take anybody for granted when I'm in the courtroom. I'm focused and I'm there to make sure my judge and whoever else is in the courtroom is protected and everyone that feels safe in the courtroom. Also, that we are required to complete a CPR first aid training, which I have had and we do. I just thank God I have yet to have any incidents where that was needed, but we've had some close calls where we may have had to give CPR attention, but some of the people have to really kind of get close to their face. I'm okay. Sure, that was a joke. But we've had some close calls. And also, the next topic that we're going to be talking about is job responsibilities. Okay. Oh, I have this. Job responsibilities. Oh, how did that get there? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not supposed to be there. Job responsibilities. Okay. Okay, the bailiff job duties, and this is for the bailiffs who work in the courtrooms. We call the court to order. All rise, county court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Linda Singerstein presiding. Please make sure all cell phones and beepers are turned off. Thank you. Yes, that too. If I see someone with their heads on. So, but that's how we announce the judge as he comes into the courtroom. And of course, like I said, we're here to protect the judge and the parties and the jury. And we, which I did when I was starting off, but I don't do it anymore. We were in criminal court, escorting the prisoners back and forth to their court proceedings. Right now, I'm in civil court, so we just handle civil cases, which is like landlord-tenant cases. You owe me money, I owe you. We do with my judge also deals with domestic violence cases also. So we have a little bit of assortment of each, but not to the point of criminal cases where, you know, murder and just other things like that. So we don't do that anymore. Bailiffs are also responsible for preventing contraband from coming into the court. And I just so much had an incident just the other day. Well, I can give you two incidents. Two areas of what happened with me in this same text. When I used to do criminal court, we had a young man. They all came in. It was like about 3-4 guys, and they were coming into the courtroom smelling like marijuana. I mean, it was like Cheech and Chong marijuana. Okay, just up in smoke. Okay, so I had to stop them and ask them, "Are you serious?" So it was like, "What, man?" I said, "You guys are coming in here smelling like weed. You can smell it." Yeah, so I had to tell. I mean, realistically, I could report it, and it's everything by discretion. You know, like I said, I've been in the system now for like 17 years, so you know, some people are just out there. But anyway, I told him, I said, what you need to do is ask for a continuance. And when you guys come back to court, don't come back to court like this. So they requested a continuance and they came back, but I could have reported them as well. But you know, we're here as public servants to bring peace and keep peace in the courtroom. So then there was another incident just yesterday when we were doing domestic violence. This guy comes in there, he's the respondent, someone filed a domestic against him, this young lady. And he comes in there tapping on my paper. I'm checking people in. I said, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" "I'm just showing you what my," I said, "Well, sir, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm speaking to this young lady. Can't you please wait?" So he's getting all irate and everything, and I'm just not really paying attention because I said, you know what? I mean, you have your good days and your bad days. I wasn't ready for that today. I don't want to hear that. So I go to the next person, and he's like, "Well, when are you going to speak to me? I'm right here." I said, "Sir, could you please wait? I'm talking to the young lady here." So I said, "Excuse me, sir, are you drunk?" "Yeah, I've been drinking." I said, "Sir, just go to courtroom 2, where the respondents sit, because we keep everybody separated when we have the domestic violence calendar." But it was kind of funny to me that he just admitted, "Yes, I've been drinking, I'm drunk." So he went, and I had to report him, of course, to the judge and let him know that this guy's coming in there, he's irate, and he's drunk. So we took care of him, no arrest, and everything is by discretion. You know, if they're coming in there to do harm to any one of us or anyone in the courtroom, then that takes it to the next level of arrest. So, back up. So we deal with that, and we deal with the, we don't do it now, but back some years ago, we used to have to do with the hand wand and checking people as they come in, just as the security does at the courthouse before they enter into the courthouse. Okay? Oh, that's it. And education, we're going to talk about the educations of bailiff what's required. Okay, and it all depends on the location where we're going to be working at. Bailiff's positions may require candidates to have some college and on-the-job training. I have had on-the-job training in security, and prior to that, I was in the Air Force, and I was a law enforcement officer, and I have certain credentials, like working at the Pentagon and White House. So I had clearances, a lot of clearances, but that's not it in all cases. Some bailiffs are hired right off the street. They have no security experience, and it's all by the judge's discretion because it is the judge that hires the bailiffs. It's not the county, it's the judge. If the judge wants somebody that had and this is just saying, if they got stopped smoking marijuana, they said they didn't inhale, they just puffed, you know, like somebody we know, we're not going to call their names. But if the judge wants to hire that individual, she can. It's at her discretion. So a lot of the people that are bailiffs right now. The majority, I say, with about 80% of them, they have a military background, but the other 20% are right off the street and word of mouth. Like I may tell my brother, hey, or a friend, you're looking for a job. I worked at Burger King, and I think he's sound enough and has the intelligence to be a bailiff. And then I would refer him to the judge, and they would interview him. So a lot of it is by word of mouth as well. But there are training programs, typically include custody and security procedures, as well as firearms and self-defense training, which I've had. So it's almost like a case by case with the hiring. It was right here, is what I was talking about. Some employees may show preference to candidates with supervisory experience of familiarity, I keep that message word up, with legal settings. And I've had that experience too, because I tell you, I was a law enforcement officer in the military. You must also be an American citizen, at least 18 years of age, and you must be able to pass a drug test, and in some cases, a physical endurance exam, which I had to do when I started as a bailiff. That was many years ago, so it's a lot slacker now with the injuries. Bailiffs are expected to have a clean criminal record and to be model citizens. I want to go back to the legal settings. We've had prior police officers as well. They retire, and a lot of our bailiffs are also police officers, retired police officers. So they stay somewhat in the system, and some of the judges, when they hire, they look at that too, that they feel safer with someone knowing that they have that experience. So that helps out as well as the education part of it. Next, we will be talking about the basic requirements, which we're going to be talking about next. I keep forgetting this thing.
You may have to get out of that. Try it. Just there you go.
Okay. Oh, Jen, I don't know how this thing keeps popping up.
Big with hand.
Sorry about that. Okay, Bill, I'll be selling these shirts afterwards. Okay, pay. Let's talk about pay. Wait, I may have gotten ahead of myself. Okay, according to criminaljustice.usa.com, the hiring process for a bailiff varies through all counties. All counties should require interviews. I'm sorry, let me back up. The hiring process for all bailiff varies, though all counties should require interviews and background checks as a part of the pre-employment screening. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that the career opportunities for bailiff are only projected to grow by 8% by 2020. And bailiffs earn an average salary of $38,570. The BLS report, although the top 10% earn closer to $66,400. Now, let me stop there for a second. I have been in the system since 1998, and up until, this is 2015, let's say 2008, we received our normal pay raises and scale. But believe it or not, since 2008, I have yet to receive a raise. Because of Miami-Dade, what happened and everything that's going on, yes. So, we have yet to receive a raise, and this is, like I said, been since 2008, nor a cost of living raise. So I've been making the same pay I have since that time up to now. And it's only by the grace of God that I have food on my table, a roof over my head, and it draws you closer to God. So that right there, I don't know where they got that statistic from, but that's criminaljustice.usa.com. Okay, they haven't asked me anything. I don't remember them talking to me. Anyway, meanwhile, let's see. Okay, and the salaries, like I said, depending on where location you work at, because you have bailiffs also working in federal court, criminal court, and different aspects of the judicial system. Okay, and now, and those who are beginning in the field, they, of course, earn less. Okay, and of course, this is a graph showing the ups and downs throughout the years. And, this is the Bailiff Macho shirt for those who want to buy this particular type of shirt. You see it's cut right here. Anyway, And last but not least, oh, that's it? Wait, where am I? Did I go through all of it? Wait. Education, I'm talking about pay. And, okay, my
And
reference.
then your references.
I'm sorry. Okay.